In April 2023, United Nations made an announcement stating that India is the highest populated country in the world and it has overtaken China. Not only this, according to various surveys and studies, India also houses one of the largest population within the poverty category. Despite of all of this, there is a rising trend in recent times where many of the leaders are calling for growth in India's population. That is, they are asking for more and more children to be born in India. Hello and welcome to Unacademy IAS, a one-stop destination for all the English medium civil services aspirants. In this video, let's try and understand what is the issue of north versus south part of India and why is that CMs, that is the chief ministers of some of the states in India, are asking for higher growth in population. But before I start the discussion, if you are appearing for upcoming civil services examination and you have any kinds of doubts, or let's say you require assistance in your strategy for the preparation, all you need to do is get in touch with us. You need to fill in the form, the link for which is provided in the description below. Let me start the discussion now. In the last couple of days or in the last 1 week, two chief ministers of two different states from southern part of India, one Andhra Pradesh, whose chief minister is Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, and the second one Tamil Nadu, whose chief minister is Mr. Stalin, have called for people to have more children. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu raised certain concerns, and this is not the first time that he has raised or voiced concern regarding the population in the state and has asked people to have more children. On the other side, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Stalin, jokingly stated that just as in having 16 wealths or 16 different types of wealth, why not have 16 children? So this raised a lot of eyebrows, and this actually led to a discussion regarding what is the issue. Why are the chief ministers asking people to have children? In fact, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, as a chief minister, in the month of August this year, rolled back one of the policies or one of the provisions under the law which barred people having more than 2 children from contesting elections at a rural level in Andhra Pradesh. So what is the issue all about? Let's try and understand this debate under 3 headlines. First one, the issue regarding devolution of tax proceeds. Second one, the second important point, or let's say the important issue, that is of delimitation. And finally, the third issue, which is focused around aging population. Let me start with the first one, the concept or the issue of devolution of tax proceeds. Very recently, the President of India has announced establishment of 16th Finance Commission. The recommendations are yet to be provided, but right now, the 15th Finance Commission recommendations are applicable. Now, whenever you talk about Finance Commission recommendation, one of the most important areas of terms of references where recommendations are provided by the Finance Commission is a devolution of tax proceeds. In a nutshell, center imposes and collects pan-India taxes. If you take out surcharges and cesses out of it, what is left out is the divisible pool of taxes. Now, how this divisible pool of taxes should be distributed between center and the states, and thereafter amongst the states, is the recommendation provided by the Finance Commission. Now, if you look at the 15th Finance Commission recommendation, the horizontal devolution formula, which basically talks about how the funds have to be distributed amongst the different states, takes into consideration multiple parameters. But one such very important parameter, which has been given a weightage of 15%, is a population of 2011. the population of 2011 has been given a weightage of 15%. What about the previous Finance Commission? The 14th Finance Commission took into consideration the weightage of the, let's say, the population of 1971 as well as the 2011, and overall 27.5% was the weightage provided. Come to 15th Finance Commission now. Focus on the 15th Finance Commission. Because the weightage is given for the 2011 population, obviously the states which have higher population would be getting more devolution of taxes. Here the concerns which have been raised by the states which are from the southern part of India and many other smaller states is that mainly the southern states are arguing that when it comes to contribution to the tax proceeds to the central divisible pool, or for that matter in terms of contribution to economic activity, industrial production, job generation, contribution to GDP, etc., these are the states which contribute very high. But when it is the question of providing the devolution, giving the devolution out of the tax proceeds, these states get much lower amount compared to the northern states in India. And this is not a new debate as such. In the last couple of years, this has again come into prominence. So one concern which has been raised by many of the leaders from the southern part of India, especially the chief ministers of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, right, or Andhra Pradesh for that matter, or even Telangana for that matter, is the argument of devolution. They want higher amount according to their contribution. They need higher amount of devolution of tax proceeds. And if you look at the population, the census of 2011 is done. We were supposed to conduct the census of 2021. Because of the pandemic, it has been postponed. Nowadays, there is a talk that the census would be conducted in 2025, although the official announcement is yet to be done. But once the population census is conducted again now, obviously the population in northern states would be much higher compared to the population in southern states. And as a percentage of total population, again, higher weightage would be provided by the Finance Commission and more devolution would go to the same states which have been getting higher devolution under 15th Finance Commission. So that is one of the very important issues of concern which has been raised by many of the chief ministers, and one of the outcomes has been that why don't we have more children then? And that is exactly what is being told by the chief ministers of Andhra Pradesh as well as Tamil Nadu to their people. This is the first issue. What is the second issue? Delimitation. After the census of 1971, the government in 1976 decided that there will be no delimitation that would be conducted till 2001. Although there are provisions in the Constitution of India talking about the delimitation exercise, until 2001 there would be no delimitation conducted. And later this particular year was shifted to 2026. Now we are fast approaching 2026. And the concern is that once the census is conducted and the delimitation is done, and if you're wondering, I'm pretty sure some of you would be wondering now, what is a delimitation? Essentially, how Lok Sabha seats would be divided within these states. How many seats would be given to Uttar Pradesh? How many seats will go to Tamil Nadu? How many seats to Andhra Pradesh, etc. This exercise, which would be conducted based on the population in the states, is called as delimitation. Now, if you look at the current, let's say the distribution of seats, which was basically conducted after 1971 population census, the state of Bihar as well as the state of Tamil Nadu had almost a similar population, not the same, but a similar population. And that is the precise reason Bihar got 40 seats and Tamil Nadu got 39 seats out of 543 Lok Sabha seats. But over a period of time, the population in Bihar has grown at a very faster pace, much higher compared to the state or the population growth in the state of Tamil Nadu. According to the latest estimates, the population in case of Tamil Nadu will be somewhere over 7.5 but below 8 CR. Whereas the population in Bihar is more than 13 crore, which effectively would mean that now if the delimitation exercise is conducted, the number of seats which will go to Bihar will be much higher compared to the seats that would go to Tamil Nadu. And as such, already the concern is the Lok Sabha seats which are basically distributed or which are present put together in all the southern states will come to around 134. And if you do a calculation, out of 543 seats, 134 would account somewhere around 24%. Now the concern is, once a new population census is done and if a delimitation exercise is conducted, the southern states put together would be losing more than 20 seats. According to various estimates, their number of seats would come down below 108. And at the same point of time, the seats which are allocated, assuming we will just stick to just 543 number of elected representatives in the Lok Sabha, the number of seats for the northern states would increase by more than 20. So obviously the concern is the southern states would be losing more of their power in the Lok Sabha in terms of, let's say, voting, in terms of their representation, etc. So that is one of the very important concerns which have been raised, and that's the reason the chief ministers are asking people to have more children now. Third very important concern, aging population. A very important concern. Although most of the current affairs discussion is focused on the delimitation as well as devolution, there is also a very important aspect to consider here. That is the aging population. According to various surveys, India's population, out of the total population, the aging population that is above the age of 60 years is very soon going to cross more than 20%. And especially from the southern part of India, the states which are there in the southern part of India, the aging population in these states will grow at a pace of 6 to 7%. It would increase by 6 to 7%. Whereas in the northern part of India, the aging population is expected to increase or rise by 3 to 4%. Now what is the concern? The concern is, if the aging population grows very fast, then there will be pressure on the labor force. We will not have sufficient number of people to replace this retired population. This will put a lot of pressure on industrial activity. And at the same point of time, if the aging population is increasing, the government's expenditure to provide social welfare, spend money on healthcare facilities, etc., will also be increasing. This is also one of the reasons which Mr. Chandrababu Naidu cites and says that people need to have more population, more children now. We need to add more number to the overall population. So these are the three very important concerns or the issues which have been raised by the leaders or the chief ministers of the two states in the southern part of India, arguing in favor of people having more children. But is it the right solution? Is it the right solution? What do you think of it? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But before I wind up, what is the right solution? In case of Andhra Pradesh, the chief minister has argued that why don't we provide incentives for people to have more children? In fact, many of the experts argued that this would be a wrong approach. Reason being, India already has the highest number of people in the world, highest population. This will put a lot of pressure on the education infrastructure, will put a lot of pressure on hospital infrastructure. And as such, we are seeing that India also houses one of the largest number of poor people in the world. Every now and then, we see newspaper articles where people are not able to get 2 square meals a day. So in that situation, will it be a right approach for the government to promote more population? Will it be a right approach to spend money to provide incentives for the people to have more children? Many experts do not agree with this viewpoint. At the same point of time, some of you will basically say, in that case, what should the states do? If we do not have sufficient number of labor, if you do not have sufficient people to replace aging population, what should the southern states do? Should they suffer? Argument is no, they do not have to suffer. If you are able to create sufficient number of quality jobs, then there will be migration of population. Can't we ensure migration of skilled labor force from certain states which have excess population to other states which require skilled labor? Will this not basically address the issue of replacing the labor with other labor, although this labor might be moving from other part of India? So there are solutions, and this idea of promoting higher population to address economic concerns is nothing new. Many other countries around the world have tried it and they have failed in that. And in the process, when the population goes out of control, they have suffered because of that, and they have bore the brunt of higher population. So the argument here is there are many solutions. There are many other solutions to look at. For example, can we tweak the formula? Can we tweak the formula which will be used by, let's say, the government for allocation of seats? Can we tweak the formula which is used by the 16th Finance Commission? Can the 16th Finance Commission take into consideration many other factors to allocate the funds, to basically give a recommendation of devolution of tax proceeds rather than giving very high weightage only for the population? That can be done. So there are many other ways to address these kind of grievances or these kind of concerns which have been raised by the chief ministers. So this is the overall discussion I wanted to have with you people regarding the issue of chief ministers calling for higher growth in the population in their respective states. If you like these initiatives, do not forget to hit the like button. But more importantly, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, do not forget to subscribe. That's it from my side. See you again in the next session. Have a great day. Take care.